Hi, I'm Dr. George Yancey. Let's share some paradigms. Paradigm share today is Trump Delightment Syndrome. Now, you probably heard the term TDS. In social media, whenever people get into discussion, a conservative person will say, arguing with a liberal person will say, well, you have TTS. TDS, of course, is Trump Derangement Syndrome. Now, Trump Derangement Syndrome is a real thing, okay? I'm not saying it's not a real thing. And in fact, I'm going to touch on that later on in this video because it is quite a real thing. But TDS can also stand for something else. And that's Trump Delightment Syndrome. And this video is wildly successful. People will be using Trump Delightment Syndrome all over social media. I wouldn't hold my breath waiting for that. So, Trump Delightment Syndrome is TDS for conservatives. Here's what I mean by that. Conservatives are incredibly happy with Trump in many ways. Not always, but in many ways. And they give a pass to Trump in ways that they would not give a pass to other individuals. And it's pretty clear about this. From the very beginning, many conservative Christians, who I believe rightly called out Clinton for the way he womanized, for the disrespectful way he treated women, and for cheating on his wife, and all this sort of stuff, saying he's unfit to be a leader morally. And I tend to agree with them. All of a sudden, turn a blind eye to a Donald Trump who, if anything, was worse. So, from the very beginning, President Trump has gained the benefit of the doubt from conservatives in a way that hardly anyone has. But it goes beyond that. The moral failings are one thing. And we can argue, and it's fair to say that progressives do the same thing. You know, the Attorney General's race in Virginia, where progressives turn a blind eye to a candidate who talks about how fun it would be to see the deaths of not only his political opponents, but the political opponent's wife and kids. So, you want to say that progressives do it too, no argument from me. But it's not just the moral failings. One of the problems that I was concerned about when Donald Trump was running for president was how he would twist and poison the perspectives of my conservative Christian friends. It wasn't just that they would impact Donald Trump, but he would impact them. And we see evidence of this. We saw evidence. First off, we can see evidence with the issue of immigration, which at one point, conservative Christians were fairly open to immigration, and now have become the religious group most closed to immigration, legal or otherwise. We're also seeing it with the war. Now, when this video comes out, the war with Iran may be over with. I hope it is. I hope it's over today. But when the war first broke out, early polls showed that many conservatives were not comfortable with that war. As of today, many of them are comfortable, overwhelmingly comfortable. Many conservative Christians who, Trump advertised himself, politicized himself as no new wars, I don't like foreign engagement. And to be honest, in his first term, he kind of governed that. And I don't want to get into whether this war is justified or not. That's a longer video, and I don't claim to be a foreign policy expert, and so there could be information I'm not aware of. But this does seem to go against this notion of no new wars, doesn't it? So you think that conservatives would try to pull him back from this. Instead, they've gotten on board as well. Donald Trump is leading the charge on political issues as well as moral failings. Why? Because conservatives delight in Donald Trump. Are you enjoying this? Please like this video. Consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment. Leave a critique. That helps to build this channel. So, the movement of MAGA, which was anti-war to now supporting war, is a really good indication of Trump Delightment Syndrome. Trump Delightment Syndrome is just as pernicious as Trump Derangement Syndrome. As I said before, I'm not denying Trump Derangement Syndrome exists. It does. We know, if we're honest, that there's nothing Trump can do that certain people will agree is a good thing. He literally could heal cancer. And some people would still say, well, you know, that's going to create more population. I don't know what they would say, but they would hate it. For all the and many mistakes he made in COVID, I acknowledge that his effort to get a vaccine, of reducing regulation, something that perhaps a Democrat president would not have done, helped to facilitate a vaccine faster. I think he deserves some credit for that. Many people do not. They engage, and one of the things that I struggle with as someone who never voted for Trump and never will, was not letting my hatred for Trump corrupt my heart. So I only saw him as continually evil. I've had many people I consider friends, at least social media friends, who I watched them, and I was with them at one point, come to a point where their dehumanizing rhetoric and their inability to give any credit whatsoever to Trump for anything help me to see on how Trump derangement is a real thing, as well as Trump delightment. People who will overlook his failings, almost no matter what it is. And if you say it's because he's on the right side of the political issues, they will go with him on political issues. Immigration, let's be hostile to immigrants, they'll go with him. War with Iran, they'll go with him. I did a video not too long ago on how abortion now is trending downward as far as pro-lifeism. Perhaps Trump's attitude, a more, if you will, casual pro-lifeism, or really pro-choice light, is that in fact impacting that? So it's not even, the argument was he's running the issues even though he has moral failings. It's not even that. Trump Delightment Syndrome, you go with the issues even with his moral failings. You're allowing him to shape how you see things. In some ways, it's the other side of the coin of Trump Derangement Syndrome, where they let Trump shape things because whoever Trump wants, they're against. And Trump Delightment, whoever Trump wants, they're for. Trump did not create the polarization in our society. It was here before him. I was around. I saw it. He's made it worse. In some ways, he's one of the most polarizing figures in my lifetime. Maybe this was obviously in history. I don't know. I'm not a historian. But in my lifetime, he's one of the most polarizing figures. People either love him and will go anywhere for him, do whatever they need to for him, or they hate him deeply. I, for one, look forward to the day where he is not part of the body politics. And that won't mean polarization will go away. But I do think that it might help to reduce it a little bit. I'm hopeful. It's something worth praying about. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, please come back and share some more paradigms.